evening one and all. Shri Mahavidyalaya शिक्षण प्रसारक मंडल्स, Shri Kumarswami College Ausa, which is affiliated to Swami Ramananda Tirtha Marathwada University, Nanded, Maharashtra, welcomes heartily all the honorable dignitaries and participants here for the national webinar on this virtual dais. The college has been conducting a mini The webinar series was started on the eve of the International Women's Day. The theme of the webinar series is the empowerment of women. The webinar series is started to give and take knowledge which can benefit the society and the nation. The initiative has been taken by the chief organizer and chairperson of this webinar series, Honorable Principal Dr. M. Ambedkar sir. So in the beginning of this national webinar, I welcome him as the chairman of this national webinar. I am feeling immense pleasure to welcome today's honorable dignitary and keynote speaker, Dr. Shalini Chahande ma'am, who is an associate professor and HOD Biochemistry from Seth, Kesarimal, Porwal, Arts, Commerce and Science College, Kamptee. On behalf of the organizing committee of webinar series, I heartily welcome you ma'am as the keynote speaker. As I noted before, the topic of today's national webinar is India's digital gender gap. I also welcome the whole of organization committee who is taking a lot of pains to run this webinar series. And before the actual keynote speech, I would like to invite Dr. Anita Dhole ma'am for the introduction of today's keynote speaker. Please ma'am, welcome.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. You are welcome to this webinar series organized by Shri Kumarswami College, Ausa. Firstly, I am very thankful to respected principal and chief organizer, Dr. Ambedkar MM, who has given opportunity to introduce resource persons on this virtual platform. I am very thankful to respected Karad sir and IQAC coordinator, Dr. Kale sir, and all the respected participants. Those are joining this webinar series and they are making this series very successful. So I am very happy to introduce today's keynote speaker, Honorable Dr. Mrs. Shalini Chahande ma'am, who is Associate Professor and HOD in Biochemistry from Seth Kesarimal, Porwal, College of Arts, Commerce and Science, Kamptee. Today's title of speech is India's Digital Gender Gap. Dr. Shalini ma'am has completed PhD in Biochemistry. She also completed PG Diploma in Nanotechnology. She is Associate Professor of Biochemistry. She published a book chapter in the book entitled Biogenic Sustainable Nanotechnology She has presented a research paper on increasing farmers' in India, organized by Faculty of Agriculture. She got award of ICAR Junior Fellowship, award of UGC Junior Research Fellowship. Recently, she is awarded with Bharat Ratna Dr. Radhakrishnan Gold Medal Award for excellence in her field. She also got Best Academician Award. So, with this brief introduction, I request today's keynote speaker, Honorable Dr. Shalini ma'am, please start your presentation. Thank you. Welcome, ma'am. Ma'am, you unmute yourself.
Keep mobile off. Oh, yes.
Mathura village to find girls using cell phones. A panchayat in village in UP's Mathura district has decided to slap a fine of rupees 2,100 on girls who use mobile phones outside their homes because their use is evil. Padma Shri Award winner Lajvanti Kaur works on sari at her shop in New Delhi. As she ages, Kaur is finding it harder to travel and sell her wares at exhibitions around the country. But she is uncomfortable using online platforms as she thinks middlemen will pocket the bulk of her profit. A very good evening to one and all. Respected Principal Dr. Bedkar sir, who is running this International Women's Day series very successfully. I'm very thankful to you, sir, for giving me opportunity to speak something on my gender. Actually, this is for me, for the betterment of my creed. So today I'll be speaking on India's digital gender gap. I also would like to thank the organizing committee, Dr. Karat sir, Dr. Dhole madam, Dr. Kale sir, and those who are directly or indirectly involved in conducting this beautiful series, which is giving respect to the women. It is dangerously destabilizing to have half the world on cutting edge of technology, while the other half struggles on the bare edge of survival. A quote, William J. Kingston, unquote. Quote, we have heard a lot about the Internet of Things. I think we need an Internet of Women, Christiane Lagarde, unquote. Now, these are the quotes which are giving us some messages. What are the messages which are given by these quotes? Now, dear friends, daily we come across success stories of men. So we all, on daily basis, on internet or in newspaper or somewhere else, we hear about the persons like Narendra Modi, Sundar Pichai, Satya Nadella, Mark Zuckerberg, then Gautam Adani, and so on. All these people, they are largely being heard, and we daily basis we get the news of these persons. But have you heard about the ladies in technology or the ladies who are in forefront, like Sumati Bhaskar, Sukanya Padmanabhan, Falguni Sanjay Nair, Vinita Singh? These are the pioneer ladies in the technology. Now, amongst you, I don't know how many of you have heard about these ladies, but the earlier men which I have shown, most of us, we are aware of these men. So women now make up about 34% of the IT force. So of the 100%, 34% of the IT force is of women. And the majority of workers under the age of 30. That means above 30, the women are placed somewhere.
So the country is almost 50-50 in gender parity rate in STEM graduates. Soft skill 2022 women in tech report, India region that surveyed 1004 women tech. We find that only 7% held the executive positions, while 13% held managing director level position. What about the other ladies then? And why this disparity is there? So we have to think hard about all these aspects. Now, what I feel is, according to me, if we get a disease, now whenever we have a disease, what we do is, first of all, we try to find out the cause of the disease. Then after we get the cause of the disease, symptoms are also there. And then depending upon the gravity of a particular disease, we get the treatment. Now, what particular type of disease this is? First of all, we have to think of it. Now, what I regard is this particular gender discrimination, not only in India, but all over in the global scale, this gender discrimination is a disease. Now, what type of disease is this? If I say it's a disease, then whether if we categorize diseases into two types, like if we consider a cancer, whenever a person gets cancer, what we do is we immediately start the treatment because we know that it is a deadly disease and it is going to kill that person. But if a person gets diabetes, a lifestyle disease, then what happens? Slowly, that person gets accustomed to that particular disease and he tries to evade the treatments so that because most of the things he feels that he is not getting that much harm, and therefore if sugar is not allowed, then also sometimes he or she takes the sugar. Now see the difference between the two diseases. One is the cancer and another is the diabetes. So what I feel is we should treat this particular gender discrimination just like cancer so that it gets eradicated quickly from the society. Now, if we say so, now I have listed the women in technology. Have you heard of Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw, executive chairperson Biocon Limited? Now, she is a Padma Bhushan awardee. Government of India has awarded her Padma Bhushan in her efforts in industrial biotechnology in 2005. Padma Shri in 1989, and she ranks 65th on the Forbes list. And we are not aware of this particular lady. Very few of us know about this particular lady. She is in Board of Trustees of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, USA. This Roshni Nadar Malhotra, again, she is a lady, CEO and an executive director, 9.9 billion HCL Corporation. This much is the turnover of that company and is responsible for providing the strategic guidance to the organization. So, this is another lady. Another name is of Chinu Kala. This Chinu Kala, she runs Rubus Accessories. This Rubus Accessories, she has her outlets across 50 plus countries in the global market. And very few of us are known about this particular lady. Then we have another lady from agriculture background, and that is Sabita Dakle. She is from Petgaon village in Maharashtra. And this lady, when she got the mobile phone from her father, she started connecting the rural women with her, and now she is successfully running the societies which are for the betterment of the agriculture farmer ladies. Harini Shivkumar, her story is even amazing. This particular lady, Harini's family, in her family, she has got a challenged doctor. She is having the Down syndrome. Still, she was determined to pursue her career. And in her business, she has a turnover of about 200 crores at the age of 34. Now, these are very few girls, ladies who could make their mark in the industry and in the technology. Why this number is extremely low? We can also account some of the more ladies in this technology market, but still the number is very low. Why this number is low? Gender discrimination? Can we call this as a gender discrimination? Now, if gender discrimination is there, then thousands of years ago, We have seen ladies like Ramabai Ranade, Anandibai Joshi, Savitribai Phule, who started first girls' school. Pandita Ramabai was the first woman to be awarded titles as Pandita as a Sanskrit school, and Saraswati after being examined, the faculty of the University of Calcutta. So these are the ladies who did something for the society. So history, ages are still giving us the proofs that these men like Ram Mohan Roy, then Jyotirao Phule, Behram Malabari, Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar, these men, they worked tirelessly so that the betterment of the women should be there and they should come in forefront. But still, what we are witnessing, after 250 years, in 2022, we are again giving the slogans like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. So this is the plight of our society. Again, we have to give the slogan Beti Bachao and Beti Padhao. But this gender disparity is still alive. In the 2023, we are in 2023. Whether it's having to speak up louder to heard in the meeting or skip an opportunity that requires late working hours, we are cornered everywhere. Women still have to navigate many challenges to make their mark in the professional arena. We have to struggle a lot, though the number showed an upward trend in women's participation in Indian tech industry. We have seen a lot, many women are there who are doing their pioneering work in the technological industry. But the road is long and complicated when it comes to representation in senior tech roles. We have seen that only 7% or 30% of the ladies, they are having the key positions. So typical discrimination for women. Why the discrimination is there? More often, women aren't trained for leadership because from their home, they are taught that they are there to look after the home, to look after their children, and to look after their father or brother or the men around. They are not promoted at all. They are sidelined when they have small kids. They have to look after their kids. Not selected if she is planning a pregnancy. We have many a time saw that if a pregnant lady is coming for an interview, then the first reaction of that management or of that particular society is like, if she is pregnant, then how she will render services to the particular society or particular area. So these are the things which are witnessed. Pregnant or new mothers are also sidelined. They are paid less. So, or they are penalized for being aggressive or persistent. We have the society where we see that the women, they should always be submissive. If a woman is aggressive, then it is thought that this particular lady or this particular woman is extraordinary, or she is not like getting the norms of the society. So, what we don't like, female employees are allowed to leave early from the office. Now see, the scenario everywhere, what we find is, we are very protective about the women. Now the male in the society, they feel that we are giving protection to the women. But every time the female, they don't like this. Less participation in decision making, because if they feel that she is to be protected, then particular aspect remains in their mind. And if suppose a meeting is held at in the late evening, then she is leaving early because she is to be protected. Less number of traveling or late night assignments. This is what is happening. Late night assignments are not given. Traveling is not allowed if it is late. Less promotion opportunities are given because she is not working that much as the men do. Less importance is given, deprived of credit many a times. Why the credits are deprived? Because the work as compared to the men is getting smaller as compared to them. Why? Because of the opportunities given to the both genders. Keeping deprived of role of boss. Again, when it comes to giving the opportunity, like in our institution, if we consider that a lady should become a principal of a college. My college, we are in a rural background. So in the rural background, we have many of the challenges. So what people think that if a lady is becoming principal, how will she handle the crisis if it comes? So then there comes the question whether a lady should be made a principal or not. So already excused for many small issues. So the future tech workforce, these are the things which a normal person who is there in other jobs like we in the educational field. But when we consider today's topic is digital gap. So the future tech workforce breaking gender barriers. So what are the 5 barriers which the women in technology they are facing? Now they don't have the mentors. 48% they don't have the mentors. They need the mentors so that they groom them. Lack of female role models in the field. We know that there are female role models, but they are not adequate to give them the motivation and inspiration. Then the gender bias in the workplace, which is 39%. Unequal growth opportunity compared to men. I have listed the number of reasons why the opportunities are not given to women as compared to men. Then again, unequal pay for the same skills. Why these unequal pay opportunities to the women employees? In 2019, women only held 28% of managerial position worldwide. So the data earlier I gave that was from India. And if we consider globally, we find that only 28% of the managerial positions worldwide are held by women. It's still a news if a lady takes over as a leader. Recently, we got a president who is a lady, and that was a great news. So people, they were saying that a lady is being made again the president of India. So if men is there, if a man is made president of India, then it is not the same news as it is for the women. Though there is women quota even in corporation elections, but what we see is the picture is not that bright. Girls' reservation in admission is there, but still what is happening? Some gaps are always there. So what I say is keep it fair irrespective of gender. We need to bridge the gap in this gender between the men and the women. So what measures are being taken? We'll discuss what are the measures which we should take. According to me, the Oracle company, 200 female out of 4,000 employees. So see the ratio, only 200 females are there. They have 1,400 employees. 5 to 10 years, many professionally educated women quit their main career for family responsibilities. When they join the career, for some years they do, then they get married, then they have children, they have to look after their children, so they give their profession or their education and so on. If they are at home and educated, what they do? Some they start bakery or music classes, homemade products, YouTubing, yoga, tuitions. These are the things which high-tech women, they are also undertaking, which is a plight. Because what they need to be given is not there. Why? Because they have to look after the family. What I feel is equal share should be there of men and women. What we find is 92% of the work, household work as well as the work in the office is shared by women alone, while only 18% is shared by men. Now there are exceptions because some men in today's gathering, they may say that we are the exceptions, we are doing this or we are doing that, but these are the exceptions. Now new initiatives are being considered now. So what we do is special female recruitment drives. The government has planned this. Then comeback drives after break. In UGC scenario also, you can see that we have many projects where we get funding for those who have left their career or there is a career break, or those who have left their education in the middle of their life, like that. Then daycare for small kids. Those working women who are having small kids, if they are taking their kids along with them, then they have the daycare facilities even. Pick up and drop for lady employees. So we find that there are many BPOs where the pick up and drop facilities are there for the women employees. Now we say that this pandemic is a blessing in disguise. Now, post-pandemic acceptance of digital workspace, we have seen that the pandemic has given us a boon in the form of this digital world. Business space, studies, learning, branding has proved to be boon to many women. Because of this pandemic, in the pandemic this started, and the post-pandemic, there, if the lady is working from home, then it has become a boon for her. Now, how we will supercharge an equitable digital future? Now, this has to be taken into account. How can we have an equitable digital future? To the women, to the men, we want that there should be an equal share in the digital economy. So, close all gaps in virtual entry to and talents. So, how can we achieve this? Race, age, disability, socioeconomic status, and location all play a role in determining women's digital access and use. Now here, why we are choosing all these factors, race, age, disability, socioeconomic status? Because what happens, older women or majority of our women, they are there in the rural area, because 60% of our living constitutes the rural background, while only 40% are there in the urban. So the rural women or the older women or the women with disabilities face significantly greater barriers in connectivity, because we know that in the rural areas there are the problems of connectivity issues. So and this is more pronounced in the developing countries like India. So in the developing countries, we see this scenario. So the signals covering 70% of the population, mobile broadband, only 25% is connected. Men are 52% more likely to be with that online minority. So what we see is very less percentage of women are connected, while majority of the men, they remain connected. Why this happens? Because if we take an example of a rural woman, then they remain at their place, at their home, while men, they keep on going here and there, and so the connectivity problem is less with men as compared to the women. I am talking about the rural background. So all of which makes clear that bridging access gaps will require more than just better digital infrastructure. So providing a digital infrastructure is not the only thing which will bridge this gap between the men and women. So addressing factors like affordability. Now, whether that particular woman can afford that particular facility, whether the electricity is available in that particular area has to be seen. Then the online privacy and safety. Now here comes again another factor. When we look at the use of digital technology by men, then we don't look at this particular aspect of online privacy and safety. Then again, social norms and digital skills and literacy are also there for women. All of which are mediated by gender will be key to getting women meaningfully connected. So these are the things, because we need to protect the women because of the evils which are going on in the society. So these things will only empower the women. Then support women and girls in STEM. Now this is very important. Today women remain a minority in both STEM education and careers. Now what happens, like in our college, what we find is the majority of the students, they are the girl students. They pursue their education till their graduation. They get a good score, they are in merit. But then again, they are the dropouts. Why this? 28% of engineering graduates and 22% of artificial intelligence workers, and less than 1/3 of the tech sector employees globally. So what we find is that these are the numbers without equal representation. See, 28% of the engineering graduates are women. 22% of the women, they are working in artificial intelligence. Very few of the women, they are aware of what artificial intelligence is. It has now taken every sphere of our life, but still many of the women, they don't know what artificial intelligence is. Without equal participation in shaping the technology, research, investment and policy, all will remain critically limited if the women are not educated about what digital technology is. The same challenges apply to their access to fast-growing and high-paying careers. Now, what happens? Those who are getting good education, the urban, what we can say, urban women or urban students, girl students, they are getting this opportunity of high-paying careers. And inequality compounded by the fact that as tech and digital innovation disrupt industries, women will have to bear with this particular aspect. Now then, another challenge is create tech that meets the needs of women and girls. We have to create the technology which will meet the needs of women and girls. So, centering the voices of marginalized and vulnerable women. Now, this marginalized and vulnerable women, where are they? Again, we can say they are present mostly in the rural areas, as well as social and behavioral scientists and human rights expert. Now see, many of the women today, they are pursuing their career as social activists, behavioral scientists, then there are human rights activists. So for these women, we need to design some digital tools which will help them in giving their voices. Addressing tension between exercise of different rights online. See, what are the rights of the women? In the digital world, we are not aware. I am giving this particular webinar today, but still I am not fully aware of the rights which are being given to women, such as freedom of expression. Now see, freedom of expression, I can express, but where? There are limitations. If I express, what are the consequences? I have to think about the consequences versus right to safety. Consequences means right to safety. If I have the freedom of expression, still I have to think whether I'll be safe or not. If I say this, what will be the consequences of it? And it means that making ethical frameworks, enforcing by grounding them in international human rights standards and norms. So this we cannot do. This has to be done at the level of government. So regulatory reforms can't be left up to eat the tech sector. Government need to step in to outline companies' responsibilities, mandate monitoring mechanisms such as gender impact assessment. Just like we have to see if this particular company is doing good, then what is the impact of gender? So government has to take the data. If this particular company is doing better, what share women has and what share men has? If they find that the women has a greater percentage, then we can say that the gender has impact on that particular aspect. So the government needs to study this. So gender impact assessment needs to be done. And again, I say that it is mandatory to have artificial intelligence audits so that women's participation is felt. Developing technology for common good rather than just with the interest of multinational corporation. We have to see that whatever technology is developed, it should be taken up by the marginalized women and not by the multinational corporations only. Multinational corporations, they develop the technology for their betterment, but then they have to look for the women in that particular area. Now, address technology facilitated gender-based violence. This is a very important aspect which needs to be considered, which needs to be addressed. Now, in the online sphere, gender-based violence also forces women and girls to self-censor and deplatform. Now, I'm talking about the online platforms, the social media platforms, where gender-based violence is also there. Like if the girls or the women, they are in the Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or anywhere, like, then they have to face discrimination. They have to face the violence in the form of what? Violence in the form like they are having virtual fights, limiting their ability to engage and participate virtually. If the women write something, then they are given the words like they cannot have the to bear the consequences. They don't have that courage. So they have to self-censor that I will not be there on the Twitter, or I'll not be there on the Instagram, like that. So as social media becomes an increasingly crucial space for both socializing and organizing, it has become a key site for gender disinformation. So here what happens, there are both type of people, those who are helping the economy to grow, whereas there are people who are spreading the disinformation about the gender. So we can see that in the Facebook also, we have many of the people who are marketing, who are doing their business, all sorts of things are going on in the Facebook. But then again, the women have to face this disinformation or misinformation, sexist hate speech and more, all of it undermine women's online expression and movement. So once if you get such a hate speech, then what we feel is that we should not do that particular thing. So we backfoot from that particular platform. Finally, teaching digital citizenship. Now, India's digital divide or India's digital gap. We are on the topic, India's digital gap. So teaching digital citizenship can help cover issues on online violence. So this is very important, that whatever online violence is happening with the women or girls, that needs to be stopped. So while also instilling empathy and ethical digital media use. So digital citizenship here, it encompasses the empathy and ethical digital media use. Whatever media we are using, men and women both are using, but they should be instilled with the empathy and ethical use of it, and teaching boys and men to become advocates for gender equality. So we need to teach the men and boys that gender equality should be there, and they are also there to use the technology. You are also there, so equal share is there, so they should be judiciously used. And the men or the boys, they need to be sensitized about the things which the women or girls are doing for their betterment. So there are vast opportunity for the girls and women to power India's digital economy and benefit from it. So we know that in India, we have the world's largest girl population, and half of the population is of women in India. Access to digital technology for young women can be a game changer with multiplier effect. We know that if we bring forth our women in our digital arena, then magic can happen. Young women known as digital sakhis from Madhya Pradesh are upturning discriminatory social norms through the use of smartphones. So this is one example, but this is going on everywhere. In every city in India. Their efforts give us hope that digitally empowered women will lead this transformation in India. Now, the question is, why to go digital? This is very important. Why to go digital? I'm talking about the women. Men are also there. Equal share is there. But we are somewhere back foot. We have to come in front. So digital literacy for women is necessary if India wants to achieve the ultimate goal of gender equality. Therefore, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi emphasized the need of women-led development. Now this has come into force as we took the G20 presidency. Now this G20 presidency, the meeting is going to be held in Nagpur from tomorrow, 20th to 22nd March 2023. Now here, agenda for women is there, Women 20. The G20 official engagement platform to promote gender equality identifies bridging the gender digital divide. This is the agenda, bridging the gender digital divide. Why this divide is there? This divide is there because of the mindset of people, because of the culture where we prevail the patriarchal society, where we don't give prime importance to women. We feel that men are of prime importance and women are secondary. So this treatment needs to be changed. This particular discrimination needs to be changed. So we have to bridge the digital divide gap as one of its 5 priorities that need to be mainstreamed as part of G20 agenda this year. They have 5 priorities. Amongst this is very, very important. That is bridging the digital digital divide or the gap, because if the economy needs to be progressed, if India needs to progress, then we need to take care of both the genders. And for we are entering into the Industry 4 revolution. And Industry 4 has nothing but everything which is related to digital technology. It has artificial intelligence, it has simulations, it has data, it has everything which is related to digital technology. And therefore, if we feel that we are going to become the superpower, then we have to revolutionize through the Industry 4. And for that, we need to bridge the gender digital divide. Thank you very much for patient listening. If you have any questions.
Thank you, ma'am, for your very good speech on the topic India's digital gender gap.
Thank you, sir. If you have any questions.
Let me know what is the relation between the gender and the digital thing. So all are rather more than the men. The women are doing a great job in the digital era. What I presume.
Yes, sir.
Theme of the lot of
Yes, you can continue, ma'am.
Sir, your question is that women are doing miracles. Yeah, I know, but very chunk of the women, they are doing their efforts in the field of digital technology. But we being more towards the rural background, what is the condition of our rural women? So we have to consider to have the inclusive digital technology for the women who are based in the rural background also, because they are also doing their job. They are also laborers. And see, majority of the population of women who are there in the rural background, they are the laborers. And they don't know how to use the technology. So we have to take them into inclusion. We cannot only talk about the women in tech who are progressing and they are making their name in the industry.
But the unfortunate thing is that the internet, it's a very limited areas are being given in India compared to European countries. The 90% of countries are being completely connected to the connectivity is good. Here, because of the connectivity problem, also the women are not getting the opportunity. Not that the women are lagging behind. Women are really deprived of because of the connectivity problem. What I presume, maybe I may be wrong, but this is what the study shows that the connectivity is very, very poor in India.
Yeah.
As far as the rural background is concerned.
Yeah. So that is the work of government, because the government need to take steps so that the rural people, they become sufficient in the internet connectivity.
Yes, you are right.
So the government has to take steps for that.
You are right, exactly. But for that matter, the people who are in power, they should take initiative. Having been, we are now 75 years of Atmanirbhar Bharat. We are celebrating. Still, we are lagging behind this area, madam. But the reports
very much, sir. Very much. And therefore, in the G20, one of the agenda is for women.
Exactly.
Bridging the gap. So we still agree, the men or the government still agree that there is a gap.
Yes.
Surely there is a gap between men and women who are in the digital technology.
Exactly. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Is there anybody who wants to ask any question or doubt, please?
Even today, sir, if you find that in we have total number of attendees today, we have 51. So if we take the percentage of women who are participating in today's webinar, then again you will find that.
Madam, the thing is that the multifaceted responsibility the women is holding than that.
Why only women, sir? Why only women?
Yeah.
See, today is Sunday, and both men and women, they both are there. Okay, at the working place. If suppose today I need to participate in this particular webinar, then
Yeah.
the men at home, they should promote that the particular aspect has to be taken care, so that I should take part in that particular webinar.
But I do agree about the nature of the law says that the men cannot handle things which women can perfectly.
No, sir. If you speak like that now, then this implicates is you are indirectly giving us that particular magnitude of what you can say weight of taking the responsibility of home as
No,
well as.
I'm not meaning that. I'm not meaning that. But we think that there are maybe lady having responsibility of their parents, their what you call their kids. They may get one day time. They wanted to give the time to their kids, their family. They may be going out for some relaxation. That is what I mean to say. That is my intention. Not that they're being forced to do
No,
something.
but sir, we need to change here. We need to change, and men, they have to take the equal share. Then only the society will progress.
Of course, I do agree, but the God has given the different role to the people, that is men and women. At any point of time, when we speak of equality, I think it will not be going to happen in another next 100 years. Though they are doing a lot, they are doing multiple, they are doing more than what men are doing. They don't charge for they're doing the job and they are cooking at home. They're not charging for that. They are doing job. They're taking care of the kids also. They are not charging for that. So their role cannot be just counted. Actually, it's invaluable service women is rendering, both at their domestic level, at their both they're balancing it super.
But then, sir, in the institutions or wherever we are working, then we should be given plus what you can say opportunities, plus opportunities. As
Definitely,
compared to men.
I am for that. I am for that. If
Yeah.
if I'm,
So it should be done everywhere. It should be done everywhere.
Sure. They should be given some relaxation.
Yeah.
They should be given some sort of priorities in certain areas whereby they can really do something for the society.
See the statistics, sir. Only 20 women are there and 30 men are there in today's webinar. See the ratio.
Yeah, I do agree, madam. I do agree.
Thank you, sir.
To see the TV channels, they are getting in seeing the televisions.
Seeing the television, you cannot blame women for seeing the television because you are compelling them to do only that work. Because you are not giving the opportunity to do any other work. So what they will do? They are watching television and they are taking their time in some activity like that.
They feel they much interest in the TV serials, Even though we say that let's sit and listen to
This is the half truth.
yes,
So you are compelling them to stay at home and do the things which you feel that they like. This is not their perspective. Because I belong to the creed of women, so I'll defend that particular aspect.
yes, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ugadi sir. Is there any participant who wants to ask any more question, please?
शाहजहां सर बोलिए.
No, sir. Now I am in traveling, sir.
Okay.
Very good session.
Okay.
Informative session is our.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Shahjam sir. Very good, elaborate, and comprehensive speech has been delivered by Honorable Ma'am and highlighted important aspects and tried to emphasize that there should be actual parity among men and women. So thank you for your speech.
Thank you, sir.
And now after this, I would like to invite Chairman, Chief Organizer, Honorable Principal, Dr. M. Ambedkar, sir, for his studious opinion about the keynote speech. Please, sir, welcome.
Thank you, Professor Karar, sir, Dr. Inta Dhole, madam, all the organizing committee members of our college, and today's invited guest from Nagpur, Dr. Shalini, madam, all the participants, Tulsiram Shelke sir, Shahjahan sir, Sonu Kumar sir, those who are present here joining daily to our webinar, all the respected participants. So it is we are ending now the International Women's Day series within 2 days, and speech of Shalini madam was scheduled before also, but because of health problem it is prolonged for Sunday. And thank you for accepting our webinar series invitation and joining here. Every women on this platform have explained about the Women's Day, powers of that. Today is also different topic, which was the digital gap, gender gap. Why women are not coming ahead to use this technology? What are the problems? How percentage of women is in technological area? All these things should be. All these things are explained by madam with examples of some ladies which are in leading position of the industrial sector or technology sector. In spite of these facts, Baduddin sir have discussed these aspects, also Prashant Ugade sir. So everyone was knowing that women are busy in the work, so they can't give the time for the webinar, all these things. Madam also noted the today's strength of enrollment of women and gents in this webinar also. Is the experience of every day that if they wish to join, they can join, but if they are not wish, they are not join. Might be busy in the their homework, they have more responsibilities. As an example of mine, I would like to share. I have requested more than 3,000 women for our Women International Webinar Series, which was conducted last year. More than 3,000. If you someone want to prove, I will give screenshot of that. 3,000 requests, out of which less than 500 women have accepted, and they are delivered this topic. So 2,500 women have not willing to join here as a resource person. So this is the fact. We have to do this work. Women should come ahead when someone requests for this opportunity, they should accept it, and they should explain what they are knowing and what we are coming to empower them, but they should come ahead. This is the request. Thank you, madam. You are next.
So one
Yes,
thing I would
yes,
like to add.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, you can.
Hello, sir. So what I want to request you is, for International Women's Day, you have invited all the women. What I feel is, for gender sensitization, only women will speak for women. Men should also speak. Actually, more men should speak for women rather than women speaking for women.
Yes,
Because then only sensitization will be done.
yes, and that
Because what they feel, that needs to be known. What they feel about women,
yes,
that has to be first off taken care of. Then only something will happen in the society.
Right.
So in the next year's agenda, you should keep men also for International Women's Day series. This is my request to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, thank you, madam. Because that group is of gents and women's are their members, but no men have come ahead for this webinar speech. But in next year, I specially request men persons. Please join for this International Women's Day. We celebrate jointly with different aspects in the view of men also. They should come ahead. Yes, perfectly,
Yes, sir.
madam.
Then only sensitization will be done.
Yes, perfectly. We will take care of this also.
क्या मैं आपको कैसे ये
Yes. Yes, we will take this note in future also. We will jointly celebrate this one, because they are also knowing the problems and overcoming the problems. All these things they should know, they will explain here. Thank you, madam, for new topic
you,
for
sir.
us, and thank you for joining here. To all the participants, those who are present here, thank you.
Thank you very much.
At the end, I would like to pay vote of thanks. First of all, I thank Honorable Speaker Dr. Shalini Chahande ma'am,
Thank you, sir.
who has accepted the invitation and spared her valuable time to make us aware about the actual things of women in our society, and there is need to change the perspective about women to bring real equality. Thank you, ma'am, for your informative speech. I also thank Chairman of this webinar series, Honorable Principal Dr. M.
Internet connectivity problem with him,
Yes,
so
yes,
he
sir.
will continue within 1 second. Okay, I will continue the last part. I will thankful to all participants, those who are joined here. Tulsiram Shelke sir, Sonu sir, Mudassir sir, Shahjahan sir, Dr. Prashant Ogade sir, Dhole madam, Dr. Professor Prakash Karad sir, and those who are joining here daily. Thank you to all. Kindly fill the feedback link so that you get certificate. Thank you to all. We will meet tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
थैंक यू सर। सर मैं बोल रहा था ना आपको चैट पे, आवाज हमारी जा रही है?
जी आ रही सर, बोलिए।
हेलो, मैं बोल रहा था ना कि 18 तारीख का जो कल मैंने जो फीडबैक भरा था ना,
हाँ
तो वो शायद मेरा मेल में सर समस्या आ गई है,
जी
तो मैंने आज दूसरा मेल